Welcome, everyone. My name is Davin Chitwood with Kirkham IronTech, and I have our founder and CEO here, Tom Kirkham. The question today is, what is the cyber pandemic?
The cyber pandemic, you're talking about the cover of my first book there.
That's
or
actually
kind of my first book.
Yeah.
But the title of that book is The Cyber Pandemic Survival Guide. Okay. So a few years ago, Klaus Schwab, who founded and is the head of the group Davos, the group that meets in Davos, that costs like the minimum ticket to get in is $250,000, World Economic Forum. And I think he coined this phrase, but he spoke to the group about a cyber pandemic. And what his definition is imagine, and you can probably find the video of him on some of our other videos, or we may just have it standalone. We've got one version that's edited down to about a minute, so you get the concept real quick. At any rate, Klaus was proposing to these leaders of industry and these government leaders that go to these types of conferences that we've got to really think about what would happen if a computer virus that was so destructive got loose around the world.
Yeah.
You know, all of the impact on planes, trains, automobiles, water, food deliveries, electricity, gas, all these critical infrastructure, petroleum distribution, like the Colonial Pipeline breach. What would it be like if a virus was kind of like could attack everything?
Yeah.
Or anything? And what would that look to us as a society? And he said a global cyber pandemic or a global cyber attack like that could affect just millions and millions of people would make COVID look like a speed bump.
Yeah.
You know, and we got a taste of this, and we had a taste of it even before he brought this subject up. Russia declared all-out war on Ukraine, cyber war, not kinetic war. This was before this last thing that happened a year and a half ago. They did a full-out cyber war on Ukraine, and some experts were saying, well, they were just seeing how far they could take it, and they literally stopped just short of killing people. In fact, there's some people that did die. It wasn't because a virus affected robotic surgery equipment, but what it did do is shut a hospital down, and they had to transport a patient that had no need. The only way they could have survived is to be transported, and they didn't make it because they just couldn't get them treated in time. And so imagine multiplying that on a nation level or a global level. And it really will be, COVID really will seem like a speed bump.
Yeah.
And so what Klaus is saying and what I'm saying is we need to apply the principles and the defense stuff that we already know how to do, and we already have the technology, and put in the administrative policies and everything it is to address it now, to prevent it from happening. You know, something similar as a bit of an analogy, and I'm old enough to remember, Davin, you don't. But there was this whole thing around Y2K. You know, are the planes going to run? Are we going to have electricity on January 1st, year 2000? And it was just all over the media for weeks and weeks and months, and nothing happened.
Yep.
So people say, well, that was all blown out of proportion. No, it wasn't, because it was on media for months and months and months, and we invested in fixing all of this software code.
Yeah.
It became a non-event. It wasn't because we didn't do anything and nothing happened. Worldwide, there was probably trillions of dollars spent on fixing this code problem that stopped it from being a real issue. You know, when they were writing computer code in the 60s, number one, they didn't think that software would still be used. So, and storage and memory was super, super expensive. So they only allowed 2 years. So at year 2000, all the systems would think it was 1900, and anything based on calendars was going to break. And then all sorts of other things. You know, there was all sorts of doomsday around it. But it's because we as a society, a worldwide society, and the IT professionals that we did something about it. And that's what I hope to come out of this video. And I hope your takeaway from this is, I believe, no one really knows, but I think the possibilities of this, of us having a substantial global cyber incident, is fairly significant. I'm not going to say likely, but I think there's a solid chance of it. You know, the Stuxnet virus is out, and it's been modified and is used against each and every one of us almost every day. And that was a major cyber warfare tool that we used to, or the United States used to destroy Iran's nuclear enrichment facility. And it was successful at it. But then the NSA was breached, and their cyber warfare tools were stolen, and criminals and other nation states can get them right off the dark web. And one of those types of weapons that are designed to evade modern attacks, you know, specifically, that they just poured untold amounts of money into these weapons. There's a real chance that one of those weapons could cause a worldwide catastrophe. Some experts say we're already in a cyber pandemic because it is a multi-trillion-dollar a year worldwide business.
And growing every year. And
there's billions made on ransomware every year. And you know, if you just watch, you know, I'm going to nerd out here just a moment, but if you just go look at what's happening on the outside world of your firewall, you will see that your firewall is being pinged and tested for vulnerabilities every single second of every single day by these automated attacks or automated vulnerability assessments, services discovery, and things like that. So at any rate, it is a serious problem. It's much more serious than most people realize. Hoping it doesn't happen to you is not a strategy. You need to take action and do all the things we recommend and others just like us to get your security in place.
And I want to point out to the viewers that this brief 5-7 minutes is just the 30 to 50,000 foot view of the overall topic of cyber pandemic. Tom has multiple webinars where we really dig deep in, okay, this is the main threats. This is what you need to do to hopefully not be a statistic of one of the ransomwares, one of the ransomware victims that happens every single year. Overall, this is what you need to do to protect your organization. In the first step of figuring out what you need to do, where you stand regarding your security infrastructure, is that risk assessment. And so if you're interested in figuring out, okay, I know I need to do something regarding cyber pandemic, I know I need to protect my organization, the first step you need to take is having a security and risk assessment done. And that's what we offer for free. And we love to just talk with you, help you evaluate any potential vulnerabilities that you may have, and then of course help you build a plan to address those vulnerabilities and overall protect your business, your organization, your company. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out. You can give us a call, email. If you have any questions regarding anything that we talked about today or anything just regarding cybersecurity, feel free to reach out, and we're here to help. And so if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to send those in the comments or email. And overall, we look forward to talking to you next week.
All right. Stay vigilant.